Counselor Mosley, and all of you were invited here for a special reason, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Does anyone know the song that's playing right now? Maybe the artist? Maybe the name of the song?
I know that it's Dancing with Myself.
Thank you. I appreciate you for saying that. And you'll notice I'm wearing the shirt too. How many of us like wear shirts of like artists that we like? And so I want to just quickly explain that I'm wearing this shirt so that people, when they see me, because this person is a queer ally that constantly speaks out for queer rights, and when you go to her concerts, it's like 90% queer. And so I wear this shirt so people from far away see me, and they at the very least recognize I'm an ally. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe we just like the same music and they're straight, or whatever. It builds community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So here's the list of stuff that we're gonna go over. You'll notice at the very top I wrote LGBT, we belong. So we're gonna talk about what we have in common, but that's pretty much it. We all have our identity in common. We started with some welcome music. I'll try to do that every time we meet. We're going to do some intros. We're going to do this project called Dream in the Hat. I'll explain real soon. We'll go over some norms, and I'll explain what that means in a moment. We're going to do a project called River of Life about our experiences. It's pretty chill, and you can participate however you want, and I'll explain more in a moment. And then, I don't like to say goodbye. I like to say see you later or welcome people as we leave. So we'll have some welcome music when we go, or not, we can decide. And then if we have time, we probably won't, we'll talk about coping skills. And that I can explain really briefly what that's about, because we may not go over it, but sometimes we experience something really hard that makes us feel a bad kind of way. And this is a group that I hope we can work those situations out. I even have stuff that I go through that maybe y'all can like help me make my heart more full and like get through stuff. Does that make sense? Perfect. So we're going to continue with saying our names and our pronouns. Remember, I've said the word community a few times. We need to know each other, right? Does anyone feel comfortable saying their name and pronoun first, or will you all like me to go?
You go.
Okay. My name is Amoshli, and I use Amoshli pronouns. I used to use they, them, but now, until I give you all an update, I just like to use my name as my pronoun. Does anyone like to go next?
You go.
No, go ahead.
My name is Anna and I use she, they pronouns.
Thank you, Anna.
I'm Ital, I use she, her pronouns.
Thank you.
I'm Alicia and I also use she, her.
Thank you. Remember how I said we all have something in common? Can anyone let us know what they might think we all have in common?
We all go to school together.
Perfect. That is absolutely something we have in common. Anything else?
We're all queer.
Yes. I appreciate you for saying that, and that just means that maybe people outside of this room aren't queer, right? But we are, and again, we're here to support one another. Sometimes it can feel like we're alone when we like pour our hearts out about who we are. Does that feel real, what I just said?
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of pouring our hearts out, we are going to start with a quick little thing called Dream in a Hat. Sorry, Dream in a Bucket. I wrote hat, but it's bucket. See, there's a little piece of paper in front of you on the board, and you're going to write one dream or hope that you hope to get out of this club. And I realized I forgot my pen. I'm going to grab it real quick. Ooh, y'all have thoughts. I appreciate this. Sometimes it's hard to get going. And when you're done, crumple it up and throw it in this little blue bucket in front of you. Perfect. Does anyone want to mix up the bucket? Should I do it? Okay, here you go. And then we each get to pick one out, and hopefully we don't pick the one we wrote, right? If you did, we'll figure it out. And just let me know if we have someone else's. Does everyone have someone else's?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Oh, it's funny. I have mine, but I'll go ahead and read it anyways. So we're each going to read our dream or hope, and we're not going to say anything until the end. We Does anyone wanna start with this?
I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you,
I would
Nicole.
like to make friends.
I would like to make friends. More love.
This one says find ways to express themselves.
It says feel better about myself.
How does this feel, hearing all these hopes and dreams? You can crumple them back up, and we're gonna share these and save them all year while we meet. But how does this feel, hearing each other's dreams and hopes? Do you feel like other people's dreams are same as yours? Maybe you just like, what do you think, Nicole?
Sad. But everybody here kind of very, don't feel good about themselves and don't have any friends, so it
Aw.
sucks.
I so appreciate that this is real vulnerability for you to share your feelings like that. And I wanna make sure that y'all know that I am not the leader of this group. You three are the leaders of the group. I'm just here as the licensed professional to help guide y'all and help give y'all resources. And I'm not the leader. However, I hope that everything that you just said is the reason that we're in this club together. Like the whole reason is for us to support one another and build community. Because how many people feel like when you leave this school, it feels like there's people against you, right? Doesn't it feel like that? So I'm hoping that we can build community, so at least when we're in this room together, we can have community and feel like we're in a safe space. And by the way, I know we're in a classroom with little windows, but next week we can vote, we can meet outside, we can meet under a tree, we can meet in the cool basement. We don't have to meet in this classroom. Does that feel good? Perfect. So thank you for doing the dream in a hat. Next, we're going to talk about norms. Does anyone know, can anyone say what the word norms means? Or like guidelines is another word.
Just like how we're gonna act in like this group.
Oh, cool. So everyone,
Rules, kind of.
good, Nicole, good, Belisa. Has anyone done this before, maybe in a classroom or a group? Okay.
Kind of.
Okay, so y'all know that last year, maybe you don't actually, but last year we had a similar group. And so right here, I wrote down group norms that we can, actually what I'm hoping we do is that we just talk about it. And we don't have to decide on group norms today unless we want to, right? But the one way I wanted to start out is by showing you what we did at the last group, and just briefly explaining what we did, okay? So we can have some ideas. So these were the group norms for last year. We decided that we wanted to respect one another. Does that sound good, to respect one another? Yeah? Maybe mental? Confidentiality, does anyone know what that means? It's a big word, but it's really important, and I feel like we all already do this. What happens?
Keep everything like in secret.
I loved it. I should have paused. I knew someone knew the answer. What a great answer. It just means what happens in this room stays in this room, right? Anything that anyone says. Because maybe we'll talk about personal stuff. Maybe we'll get vulnerable. And it's important that we hold that conversation in a safe place in this room. Even stuff that I say. Because with your permission, I'm gonna share some of my experiences when I was your age. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect, so confidentiality, and then participation. This is a hard one, because it kind of sounds like the last group wanted everyone to participate no matter what. But that's not what that really means. What does anyone have a feeling what maybe what participation in a group would mean?
Does that mean that we have to talk every meeting?
What do you guys think? What do you all think? Do you all believe that we should need to talk every meeting, or maybe just sometimes when we feel like it? Yes, Maytal?
Just sometimes I don't want to go all the time, or like answer all the questions or something like that.
Okay. So how do you all feel about using these norms? I feel like we're on the same page for respect. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to speak for y'all. I'm just leading right now. Respect, keep confident, keeping what we're saying here. And then participation. I almost just wanna put a question mark there, just to say we can or we can't when we feel like it. How does that feel? Does this feel like these could maybe be our norms to start out, and we can change these later?
Yeah.
Okay, Mintal, how do you feel? Okay, so we'll go ahead and move forward with that. And then we're going to start on our main exercise. You see number 5, experiences, river of life. You have a little board in front of you, right? So on your board in front of you, I would like for you to draw like a squiggly line like a river. And I'll do one right over here. Okay, so next, I want you to write 1, 2, or 3 moments in your life. Like, let's say the beginning of the line, you can pick what's the beginning. It's like when you were born. Then the other side of the line is today. And what you'll do is just, you can write little notes about something that was really impactful in your life. Like a moment that you think is really important, that you would hope people, when they see you and they know you, that they think about it maybe. Maybe it's something that was really hard that changed your life. And just pick like 1, 2, or 3 and write them down on there, okay? Does that feel good? Until you got this?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I have to do it?
Actually, you don't have to. However, I do believe if you want to be more a part of the community, the more you contribute like others can potentially mean the more you're a part of the community. However, we've decided that you can participate when you feel comfortable. So we honor comfortability. Okay? It could be good stuff too, y'all. Sometimes really good stuff that happens in your life impacts your life. Remember those fidgets there, y'all can take some home and play with them if you need to. It's about feeling comfortable. And then just put your pens down when you're done, and when you're ready to move on. Great job, everyone. No, don't be sorry. In this group, we're not sorry, okay? But I do appreciate you said that. So, how do y'all feel about me just quickly going through my tree of life to set an example? Is that cool? Okay. So, here's my little tree, pardon me. It could be a tree or a river. I don't mean to confuse y'all. I'd say the first moment that really changed my life and impacted my identity was when my parents got a divorce. And then, in the future, my first husband, my gay marriage, my first husband, I lost him. He died, and so I became a widow. So yeah, that sounds really sad. Oh my gosh, I'm talking about something so sad. But there's a happy ending to that. I wouldn't be here as your school counselor if I didn't lose my husband. It's connected. When I lost him, my main goal in life was to help other people that were struggling. Because I didn't know how to help my husband. And then I went to school and learned stuff. And so this is my river. And that's where I'm at right now. Do y'all feel like you know me just a little bit more hearing that little river talk? You got an idea of what we're doing? Okay. Is anyone brave enough to go next?
Okay.
Awesome, thank you, Alicia.
When I was a kid, I watched Banditas with my mom, and I saw Salma Hayek for the first time, and I was like, she's really hot. So, and I was like, I don't really feel like that about any of the boys I see on movies. And so I think that was kind of like the first time that I had feelings for a girl. And then I only put 2 on here, but my other thing is that I just recently got my first girlfriend. And so I feel like those 2 are pretty connected because I was like, this is like my gay awakening all the way till now. And I like accepted that part and I have my first girlfriend.
Yes. How do y'all feel about clapping? That felt good. Thank you so much for sharing. And you know, there was a moment when you said Salma Hayek, and I made a face all big. That's not a counseling technique. But remember, this is a safe place. So when I made that face, only we know that I did that. Does anyone want to go next? Miktal or Hannah?
I'll go. This is my river. I said that, when I was really little, my aunt told me that she is, LGBTQ plus. I got my dog, that's the most important thing that happened in my life. And then recently I started to explore my sexuality.
Wow. Little clap. Thank y'all. I like the soft clap. Miktal, would you like to go next? How do you feel?
I don't know.
Okay. We're so happy you're here, Miktal. Thank you so much.
So I don't know, I just wrote that I'm feeling different. I never felt like I belong. Doesn't matter where I was, like, I don't know. And then this group, I don't know, like what, really that, maybe to change something? I don't know.
That's so brave, Miktal. And let me ask the group, does anyone else know, like, what we're gonna do, or like, you know what I mean? Does anyone else have, like, what Miktal expressed not knowing, does anyone else feel like they know?
I feel like I feel different too.
Okay. That's good to hear, and is there anything y'all will wanna share with Miktal, maybe to help Miktal feel more included? Or to understand where you all are at? And you could say no. These are these little moments, and going off track, because sometimes there's moments in real time that are more important than what we had on the list. I mean, Tal, I appreciate so much that you were vulnerable about your experience and how you feel.
You tell maybe you should get a dog too. That really helped my dream.
Aw,
I'm not a dog person.
Or a cat.
what kind of person are you? We should ask you.
What about sloth?
Reptile.
We see you smiling, maybe a sloth?
Maybe, I don't think it's legal, but I can try. When we move to a place when they have it all around, it is not here, so.
Okay, I wanna pause and point out a really beautiful moment that just happened. Like, Miktal, thank you, like, let's be real, you were like, we're all in pain, and you were sharing it a little bit. And we turned that pain into laughter for a moment.
Yeah, actually, we did.
So that's what I hope, if anything, we can turn pain into laughter in this room.
Yeah, that would be nice change.
We'll work on it, right? And you know what's kind of funny? Remember how I said if we had time, we would get into coping skills? How cool is it that we went into coping skills without even like, we don't need a bullet point. Like, that's just to get started. We're becoming a club in real time, and clubs are gonna change as we move forward. Maybe there's a new member. Maybe there's a new purpose. Maybe one day, one of you are like, I already have enough friends, I don't wanna be in this group anymore. And that's totally valid and fair. So I just wanna encourage you all to understand that it's about feeling comfortable. So if you're not feeling comfortable, you can leave the room, say something. It's really up to y'all how you wanna be. So as far, does anyone want to explain what a coping skill is? Because I realized I just went right into it and I didn't really explain it.
No, what is a coping skill?
You'd like to know the answer? First of all, does anyone else know what it is before I say what I believe it is?
Like the skills you have, or like how you deal with stuff or something?
That's beautiful, Maytal, we're so happy that you're here because you have so much to add. You said it better than I could have. So that's what a coping skill is, and honestly, remember we already presented it in real life when we were kind of like, we made jokes about something that was really hard, or we turned it into laughter, you know? So that is a coping skill. Sometimes, like how many people when they're nervous, they maybe will laugh, right? I know I do, sometimes, right? Sometimes people when they're nervous, they shut down, or they get loud. We all are very different, so with that, I wanna make sure that we recognize that in this club. And you know, one thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about, I am not the leader of this club. You three are the leaders of this club. I'm talking a lot, and I wanna make sure that moving forward, that you all are leading discussion, and I'm just here to hang out and to provide a little bit of guidance.
So we need to kind of bring like the topics that you're supposed to talk about, or like,
Does anyone wanna answer that? That's a good question. Do y'all believe we should bring topics to talk about?
I feel like I do better when like there's already something set, so I can like think about what I wanna say.
Okay. How do you feel about that, Emma? Would you rather have the topics ready, or would you want to bring a topic? Either way, like, do both work? Okay. Mintal, how do you feel about that?
I think I'm like, this, I don't, like I prefer someone else to kind of say
Okay.
something and then we can just respond to that, so.
I love this, because right now, like, we're creating our own norms and how we're gonna run the club. So do you all mind if I disclose just a little bit about myself? Is it okay? So when I was y'all's age, I was also LGBT and coming out. And something really important I need to share is that my parents didn't know. So I do want to mention, because someone did ask before, and it hasn't been brought up today yet, like, am I going to tell your mom or dad about this club? No. If you all want to, you can. After school activities or clubs here on campus, at least the guidelines here at this school where you all attend, we don't need to tell your parents the name or the purpose of the club that you're in, just that you're in an enrichment club that'll help you. Does that make sense, y'all? And if any of y'all do wanna talk to your parents about the type of club that you're in, that's if you decide to be in it. If you do decide to talk to your parents about the type of club you're in, I worked really hard on having the skills to hold your heart through that process, so I can be there with you. And I'll go to your mom or dad's house with you, we can meet here at the school or a library, we'll create a safe place to start that discussion, and only if you ask me to. I probably won't bring that up again, because I want y'all to feel safe. But
What
Lisa,
about teachers and like the staff? Or are you gonna tell them that we're in this club?
that is a great question. And so, everyone knows that this club is starting, but no one is going to know who the members are. They know that I'm the advisor, but no one's gonna know the names, there's no printout of names. I hear your concern, and I feel like what you're saying is that you don't want people to know.
Yeah, I don't want to, I don't want to know your.
Perfect. So it's up to y'all, you know? It's up to y'all. And it's also up to y'all, like, how visible you want to be. You know how sometimes a Latinx club, like, sells, like, Mexican food or Latin food at lunchtime? We can do stuff kind of similar. Also, we don't need to or have to. I would love for our club to become what you all want. So, before we go today, I just wanted to see, does anyone have an idea of what they would want from this club? Based on today, what we talked about, does anyone have any ideas, and then when we come back, what they'd like to do?
I wanna learn more about coping skills and what else, like what other things we can do.
Perfect. How does that feel for everyone? Does that feel good? Awesome. And I'm wondering, so So we are going to go today, because I know everyone needs to go catch the after-school bus in about 10 minutes, right? So I wanna make sure y'all don't miss it. So I'm just wondering, you know how I played a song I love, that like, I didn't say that, but it fills my heart. Does anyone wanna pick and play a song as we leave the club? Maybe a song that you care about that makes you feel good. Does anyone have an idea of a song? Should we just pick the same song again, maybe? We'll just start the same song, does that sound fair? Okay, well, I appreciate y'all so much, and then make sure to grab, any of these little fidgets for yourself, and make sure, thank you, and remember this coping skills, no pressure. Maybe something happens in the next week and you wanna talk about it. Let's do it, okay? How does it feel? And the last thing I'll say is that we don't have a group name, and we don't have to have one. But if anyone thinks of one, let's talk about it next week, okay? All right, how does everyone feel? Was that a good day today, and we can move on and meet next week? Okay, thank you all so much. Thank you, Juana, Felicia, Maytal, and make sure to catch that bus and have a great day. Take care of yourselves today. Thank you.
Bye, thank you.
Night, thank you.
Bye.